Martin, a pleasure to see you again.
Thanks a lot. Always a pleasure to see you and have a chance to talk.
Yeah, thanks for sitting down with me. I think it has been since 2015, I am told, since the last time we were able to sit down together. We sat together in Poland in 2015. One of the topics that we talked about was neonicotinoids. Big topics then, big topic now. I think back then we thought maybe cooler heads would prevail in Europe, and that isn't exactly the way that went. You wrote us a great article in European Seed in 2017 about the topic. Can you talk a little bit about where are we at and what can we expect to come down the pipe here?
It's really disappointing that the EU Commission recently decided to further restrict the neonicotinoids in Europe just for use in permanent greenhouses. This, despite our belief and full conviction that the use of neonicotinoids in the right way is safe to the environment, and for that, it's disappointing that growers are losing options to use those proven products. They now have limited possibilities to protect their crop. And there was a recent study again showing the losses farmers have through that in Europe, and it's about 350 million euros that oilseed rape growers would lose now every year. So this is that they have yield losses, they have complete loss of fields or stands, and they have to spend more money on spraying several times with other chemistry. So that's the disappointing part, that the benefits are not really seen on this. So the innovation is not that fast that we would have new products immediately available. So for that, we say, it's really disappointing, and we're happy that in most other countries, still the authorities look at at those products from a kind of risk evaluation, not from a hazard evaluation. That's the main difference, I think, between Europe and other countries. So we're happy that, as I said, like in most other areas, they're seen as helpful products, and evaluated that way. We have we're here in Australia, they clearly stated that they don't see a problem for those products here.
Right, agreed, right. A big topic, and if we had a crystal ball to see how that was going to go, I would utilize it. Can we talk about BaySTEP? Some interesting new technology. Can you talk a little bit about what that means for Bayer, and then what does it mean for the industry at large?
Yes. Yeah, BaySTEP is one of our innovation in the seed application, and we're happy that we launched that about a year ago, successful. And its STEP stands for Seed Treatment Endpoint Determination. So this device that is added to batch treaters is determining when is the right point for the end of the treatment process. So you have the optimal situation for the seed to be discharged. This reduces the potential dust abrasion if you actually would mixing too long. And it's actually a good example of listening to the customer. What is one of their challenges is actually to find that point. And what our engineers found out is that when you listen to the seed in the machine, it changes the noise once it's kind of ready and dry. So we're not only listening to our customers, we're also listening to the seed in the drum to understand where it is. And it's really by the tenth of the second, it stops the process to discharge the seed. So that's great advance, because you're saving time in the treatment, and with this gaining capacity and increasing the quality. So it's a real great success. We're making this available to customers with with this invention, but without any license fees, things like that. We want that this is going to be used to a large scale to really improve and help to improve the quality of the processes.
So a benefit to the industry at large.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So now I'm going to get to the meat and potatoes here, Martin. We now know Thursday is going to be a big day.
Absolutely.
Can you talk a little bit about? I realize that we're still going to have to talk 10,000 foot level, but can we talk a little bit about what's that going to mean for this new organization? What does that mean in the coming months, and what does it mean again to the seed industry?
Yeah. So yeah, Thursday, the 7th of June will be a historic day for Bayer, when we're finally close the acquisition of Monsanto, and with this become a powerhouse in agriculture, with being the largest seed company in the world, but also meaning that we are an engine for innovation for that. So that's going to happen on Thursday, that we're taking ownership of Monsanto. Before we can really integrate the company into a new structure, we have to wait for the divestments to happen. So that's going to take another 2 months until we then, in 2 months, can have what we call the day one, where the new organization is being formed, and we can also then integrate with the Monsanto colleagues. So until then, we have a hold separate. So Monsanto and Bayer will continue for the next 2 months then to work separately until that status is reached. So, but we're all eager to get over those 2 months.
Fantastic, very exciting for the industry. Lots of changes coming, I'm sure, that we will talk about more as we get into it. Excellent. Martin, this is a big shift for you. You started with Bayer in 1978? That's correct. 1978. I joked with you earlier that, did you start when you were 6 years old?
Yes,
So since 1978, that's a long run, a long proud run. I know you're proud of. You also spent 3.5 years in Australia here, in the 90s, and so this is a bit of a homecoming for you back to Australia. Can you talk a little bit about? I'm sure you've had lots of learnings over the years. Yes. Can you talk about what would be the biggest one? What would be the biggest learning that you've had since 1978 with Bayer?
No, it's just completing 40 years with Bayer's, and mainly working in the agricultural area, so in crop protection. And over those years, spent 3.5 years in Australia, so it's kind of as I said, like homecoming, and feeling after 20 years I left here, how things have changed also in agriculture here dramatically. So that's really exciting to see that. When I was also responsible for the business, not here, also Australia and New Zealand, but later also for Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. So there was a lot of experience in the agriculture area with customers. We also, in that time, we had the integration of Aventis Crop Science to form Bayer Crop Science. So there's a lot of, things that we learned over that years. But if you say, what's the biggest learning? The biggest learning is really to listen to your customers. So to understand their business, to understand also their challenges, and to learn where can we contribute to that. So surely in Australia, one thing you learn, it's everything around water. Right. So when there's water, there's business in many areas. If there is a scarcity of water, then there is not that much business. So you have to learn to live with fluctuation of your business and to be, adaptable to that. But to understand that is important. And with SeedGrowth, we also, I think, have the advantage that we see the process of treating seed from all angles. We're the only company that has that unique combination of all those 4 areas of competence with the products, the coatings, equipment, and service. So we look at all this and say, where can we help the customers? Where is their challenge? Where can we contribute, like with BaySTEP, to have an optimization of the process? So that's, I think, a key learning, that you need to keep that eye open, or the ear open, to hear and listen what it is and the way it can contribute value to their business, so they can continue to as well grow in their business together with us. One other learning, I would say, over the last years is when, after we usually had focused on the performance of our products and what is the benefits we're bringing, now we are more aware that we have to also talk to the public and the society more. What is the benefits we bring in our products and agriculture bring to the society? And so we really have to communicate more with this and achieve acceptance of that. Where we know there's a lot of people distant to farming. They don't know anymore how is the food produced, where does it really come from. They don't know which advances we have done also in sustainability. What are the innovations that we have changed, what products we're using. So to intensify that communication is also one task that Bayer is committed to, and also in achieving advances in sustainability is a big task for Bayer that we publicly have committed to. And that's important, I think, to continue doing this. And in this, I think, agriculture industry, we're all in this together to communicate that.
Fighting the same fight. Yes, absolutely. So the one thing I can tell you is I haven't been here with you for the entire 40 years, Martin, but I have been for the last 10 plus. And your reputation in the industry is truly impeccable. And so I congratulate you on that, which leads me to my last question for you. Can you talk at all about your future role with Bayer? And then secondly, what advice would you give to the executives that are going to be coming together with Monsanto and Bayer, which is going to be two different cultures coming together? What advice might you offer to them that are going to be doing that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, as I said, it's an exciting time now with this forming of a new company that is the leading company in the agriculture of seed and crop protection. So to be part of that is really exciting. I mean, contributing from my side of the seed applied technology to that process as well, and bringing the drive to where is the innovation. And we know the innovation is going to be broad. I mean, it's not only about this, it's also about digital agriculture. How can we use other technologies and innovation to change agriculture as well? So I think that's exciting to be part of that, say, big company that has the funds to really pay for that innovation that it takes, and also go risks for that. So the advice I think I would have for the management is really combining these different cultures of, say, a company like Bayer that is technology-driven, innovation-driven, I would say thought through, and bringing new products to the market. With Monsanto on the other side, being also in that area very successful, but sometimes a little bit more pushing forward faster, where we think a little bit longer to make it good. I think the combination of that and bring it really together, I think, will be a key success to that. So for that, you saw the announcement of the senior management team for crop science. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be also a key that we mix that up. We have Bayer people with Bayer heritage going to sit in St. Louis. We have people from Monsanto going to sit in Monheim in Germany. So that, I think, mixing that up is a great key to make that happen. That we're at the end also deliver on our promises to be an innovation engine. Super.
And what kind of a door are we going to see the name Martin Gruss on?
I don't know that yet. We're starting on the integration, as I said, like in 2 months, and all those decisions are coming. So, but I'm excited to continue working there and contributing to that with my experience.
Perfect. Martin, always a pleasure. Thanks very much for taking the time to sit with me today.
Thank you. You're welcome.